welcome to the Muscle of Yarn podcast. It's Monday.
It is definitely Monday.
November 7th. And if you want to see why we were laughing coming in, you're going to have to watch the stuff at the
Stay
end.
till the very, very end.
I don't know.
Maybe Ange will leave that in there.
I will, because it's funny. Kind of ridiculous. So this is a podcast about yarn and knitting and sometimes crocheting and all kinds of things fiber related and Vermont related. And we film this at our yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont. We're
over there in the dark.
Over there in the dark behind us in the dark cave because it is now dark, even though it's 5:30.
Definitely dark.
And we're going to show you a lot of fun stuff today, most of which you can buy here in the store. Occasionally we show some things that we've purchased in other places.
We do have that today. I have that today.
I know, but a majority of the stuff that we show you can buy right here in store or online at Muscle of Yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I'm Angela.
I'm Jen.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram, and Ravelry as a Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Ravelry at J Arbuckle and on Instagram at Jennifer_Arbuckle.
Nice.
I don't know why I'm always so nervous about that part.
I know. And feel free to, follow or friend us on those platforms with my normal caveat that if you just want yarn and crafting content, the store Instagram is the place to go. If you follow me personally, you're going to see all kinds of other stuff.
Yep.
Not necessarily knitting related.
Buildings. You might see buildings
You
in
might
mine.
see all kinds of stuff because
that's our life. That's our personal
account.
life.
Yep.
There is a fair amount of knitting on that.
Yeah,
that as well.
There's all kinds of stuff on mine. So we like to start our podcast with our podcast pick.
Right.
Yes.
For a brief moment, I was like,
you were like, wait,
pick
what?
Wait, what are you doing?
What's happening?
I couldn't remember, but here it is, right here in front of us.
So the way this works is for
Oh, boy.
2 weeks after the podcast airs, you can save 10% on in-store or online with the coupon code that we're going to give you.
Once we figure it out.
Once we figure it out, won't that be fun? So we thought that we would show you a yarn. It's a bulky weight yarn that we have not shown for a very long time. We also have a lot of really cool colors.
Yeah, we have a big restock.
Huge restock. So this is Plymouth Yarn Baby Alpaca Grande.
It is the softest. They're hand dyed, the softest.
100%
awesome.
baby alpaca.
Yeah.
So not recommended for things like sweaters.
But amazing for cowls and hats.
Cowls,
and
hats, maybe mittens. Anything that requires structure like a garment is not gonna, the alpaca is just gonna droop too much. But super soft, fast knit. It's a bulky weight. So it's approximately 110 yards for 100 grams. Recommended needle size is a 10.5, so fast project.
Great for those last minute knits. Feels very luxurious. So lovely scarf. It will make a really nice scarf, actually.
Exactly. And so we have a couple different styles.
Colors.
We have a bunch of different. We have ones that are labeled just solids or just regular, and these ones retail for $19.99. And then we have a whole bunch that are this hand dyed.
I don't even have enough hands.
And all of our hand dyed ones, which is most of them. Ooh, look at all those colors. Are $23.99.
Yeah.
So.
But you can definitely get at least a hat.
You get a hat out of a skein.
At least, probably.
That's so much fun. Look at that.
Yeah. This one, there was one, these don't have names on them, they just have color numbers, but there was one, and it was called Lipstick Pink, I think. And it was a little pinker than this, but it was, we could not keep it in the store. So I'm glad to see that they have another one back. They just, they knit out, and actually,
we used to, and I don't know where it went.
I think we took it off because we could not get that color back in again.
Yeah.
So
we have all of these colors, as you can see. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 12 colors.
12.
So for the next 2 weeks, you get 10% off these guys, and I think we'll do PP. Why don't we just do PP Baby for Baby Alpaca
I was
Grande?
going to do Grande, but either way.
Okay. baby, pee baby. So check that out. It's a great, so soft. I know. I'm like, maybe I need a hat.
I know. Well, I just noticed. I think that we just got a restock last week, maybe, or the week before. So it hasn't, and there's so much of it over there. And we have not had it for. We've had a few, but we haven't had a lot for a while. So
this is a big restock.
And I was like, wow, look at all the colors.
You know, look at that. That's so fun.
Yeah, and even if you want something a little bit more muted, this one is really beautiful. It's not my colors, but they're so pretty.
And this one.
Yeah.
So cool.
Very nice Christmas red.
That is nice.
Yeah. We've sold quite a bit of that one already. Yeah. This one is nice too. There's my colors, blue and green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. So check those out.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
So
what's next here?
What are you wearing?
Oh, finished objects. I have a finished object.
And it's what you're wearing.
It is.
Both.
Oh, sorry. Very stiff. My little boho shell.
Nice.
Which
That's
is done.
the yarn you got at H&H, right?
It is. So it is. No, it's not going to be very helpful here. It's the Boho Shell by Annie Lupton. And you may remember that this is the one that I was working on for a while and was almost done right before Rhinebeck. And then I just put it down for a minute. And 3 weeks later, I picked it up and finished it. I literally had like 2 rows left on the top to do the seams and then to do the I-cord around the edges here, which took me like 2 evenings. The yarn was bleeding on my hands, you may remember.
Yeah.
So I bought Synthropol and I soaked it in that for a minute, as one is supposed to do. And it was interesting. There was a little bit of gray in the water, and then you wash it immediately in whatever with I think I used Eucalyptus or whatever. And there was a little bit of gray in that water, but not a lot. And so maybe it worked. Honestly, it was very damp this morning, even though I washed it yesterday, I guess, and it sat out all day. And then I actually put it in the dryer. This is the silk linen combo. So I put it in the dryer for a bit this morning, thinking, well, but it was still, so I hung it in my office all day and just put it on when I got here tonight. So I don't know whether it's cured or not. But the color is still consistent with what it was before, which I'm happy about. And I had probably not like a third of a skein left maybe. So I did the same thing with that. I reskeined it so that I could wash it. And so that way I won't do that when I don't remember in 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to use it up. So anyway, as I said to Ange, as I put it on tonight, I had not tried it on. So I'm kind of excited that it fits. I also did not swatch or didn't do anything like that. And I was sort of experimenting with how long to make it, but I'm pretty happy with it so far.
Yeah, it looks good.
Not that I've looked in the mirror yet, but I've looked here on the screen to see how things look. So I think it's like one of those perfect colors. It just goes with everything and be one of those great.
Yeah, it's a really nice gray.
Wardrobe staples, as they say. So I'm excited. That's my only truly finished object.
Nice.
I have finished all the squares and I am now starting to assemble them. In my head, I was like, I'm going to have so much stuff. This whole blanket is going to be assembled. I'm going to have this sweater. I'm going to just be like halfway through another thing. That did not happen, but I have assembled one of the, so I'm going to do 4 rows of 4 and then seam them the other way.
Nice.
After that. And I was debating, I'm still on the fence about whether I'm going to do something around the edges or not. I'm going to wait till it's all put together to see
what time what day it is.
Yes. Although a little crochet binder goes pretty fast, but it will.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm pretty excited the way the colors look together.
Nice.
So that is moving along. 11/23 is the magic date for that. I'll probably finish that this week actually, because it doesn't take that long now that I was experimenting a little bit with what to use but I am crocheting them together.
Nice.
I did a couple of samples and I didn't really like the way it was looking because there's colors and so I don't really like them to show through. So anyway, I came up with a solution.
Nice.
Just a crochet thing for knitted objects.
Nice.
That I sort of made up.
Nice. So I'm wearing my rocket tee with my super classy like hooded zip up sweatshirt over the top of it because the temperature is all weird. And I thought it was going to be warmer today, and it was warmer, but when you work in an office and you don't go outside at all during the day,
I was shocked at how cold it was when I came out
it
this
didn't
afternoon.
really matter, and I didn't actually take my sweatshirt off really at all today.
I know, I wore that puffy vest all day too.
It's very weird, but anyway, so it's my contribution for wearing a hand knit today. Was this.
That's good.
And I do have a series of finished objects. They are somewhat on the smaller side, except for one of them. So let me start with the one that if you guys follow me on social media, you've all already seen. And I will tell you, I can't
believe you probably had to wrestle
wrestle this away from her.
She probably wanted to wear it today.
Oh, she was telling me off this morning.
Yeah.
You stole my sweater. Just like
you just finished it. She probably wanted to wear it to school.
She wore it all day yesterday.
I know, but that's not school.
No, I know. She did, and I was like, "But it's gonna be hot today. You can wear it on Tuesday." I was like, "I need it for the podcast." So this is cute. Feeling Whimsy, complete with the pockets.
The pockets are nice. Did they work out?
They
did.
You have to
sort of?
No,
you just followed the directions.
Followed the directions.
They look nice.
Thank you. They were kind of a little fiddle. I don't know.
Yeah.
Funny. Didn't really love the way, and they kind of hang out a little bit. They don't seem to bother her, and she loves them.
No, because she wants to put her hands in them.
She puts her hands in them. It's probably the best construction to keep her from like poking through. But so
cute.
I made the 9-10 size, and like this like just fits her like pretty perfectly right now.
Maybe a tiny bit. She's got
a little bit big.
Or so
she's kind of on the thinner side.
Yeah.
And I felt like I even like made the sleeves longer. Like I just like it's enormous. So
tall.
Anyway,
she's enormously tall.
Very tall. Yes, very lanky. Takes after her father, which is good. So this is just some like loops and thread yarn that I got from Michael's. It's like $12. And I was like, if she doesn't wear it, then I'm not going to be sad or upset.
And of course, you could buy the nicest yarn on the planet.
I bought the $12
beautiful,
yarn, and she's just
beautiful
like,
flecks of whatever. And she'd be like, oh, I don't know.
I know. So, I don't know. There you go.
Please your children, buy the cheap yarn.
And she picked out the color.
Yes.
So she is responsible for the bright pink. So that sweater is done.
That's exciting to have it done.
Yes.
Off your needles.
Yes, off the needles. Yeah. So I also finished one of 3 teacher gifts. I know.
You're too good to your teachers.
So first set I made double stuff mittens. So these are lined.
Yeah.
So we basically knit 4 mittens already. They're going to be super warm, and the colors match. If you guys have been watching for a while, you remember the cowl that I knit last year for a teacher. So our kids have the same teacher for 2 years, which gives me the ability to play matchy-matchy. So these gloves match the cowl that I made last year for the teacher. So plus I know that teacher does a lot of stuff outside.
Yeah, those are awesome.
So these will be really nice. They're super warm.
Yeah.
And I use mountain mohair for the exterior, so like any DK weight or Borsa weight for the outside. The inside calls for DK weight, and I use the 7th floor yarn yak DK that we have, so it's like silk and yak and like
soft,
so soft. Be so warm and squishy. So those are done. These are actually really fast considering that I knit 4 mittens.
Right.
But when you knit on 6 and 7s, mittens go.
You know those gigantic needles.
Mittens go fast. Not so much for the next set of mittens that I'm knitting for teacher gifts. I
remember you talking about this. And
finally finished this headband.
That's nice.
It is the Holly Berry headband. And it's, that's fun. I didn't quite catch that. Anyway, so it's just a little like infinity style. It's knit in the round, so it's double thickness. And I would put it on, but I do not have the hairstyle that is conducive to wearing a giant headband. Because you know what my hair does? It does like this. It looks all weird.
I have longer hair. Do you want me to put it on?
You want to try it on? By all means. I'm probably going to donate it into the Warmth with Yarn cowl because they work well for lots of folks, just not my hair length or hairstyle.
It's a nice cowl, if nothing else.
You could also wear it as a cowl. Yes, super warm.
I'm not sure I'm the correct fashionista. Ooh, earrings are getting
so we're just having disaster across the board.
Yeah,
sure, Jen, put that on.
Right. That might not be a good idea.
So I use Broca Ultra Wool and Encore for the two colorways. So it's, machine washable.
Let's take this off too. There we go.
All
right, we're getting there. With an earring stuck on the side. Yeah. I don't know.
It's definitely for somebody with longer hair.
Yeah. Super long hair.
Yeah. Or to have your hair pulled back in a ponytail when you're wearing it.
Yes, which I do not.
Which I kind of have to do because my hair's too short.
Hold on, but we'll fix that.
Oh, yeah.
Earrings.
Oops.
We'll fix it.
So it was also just a fun little headbandy thing to knit.
It's pretty.
So
yeah,
some nice little color work, but not too much.
Get my little needle out to fix that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So while Jen is, I feel like I'm on like, yes.
Right.
I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. I started another set of mittens. So apparently this is the mitten year for teachers. So this is for the other child's teacher. Last year she got a llama hat because she likes llamas. And so I had to go see if I could find llama mittens. Pretty sure you can find anything on Ravelry. So La Llama mittens is
those are super
what
cute.
I'm making. I've gotten that far.
They look nice so far.
They look really good. It's the difference between this mitten and that mitten is this is also worsted weight yarn, and I'm knitting it on 2.5.
That's crazy.
Pattern calls for ones. I was like, that's lunacy.
And it's fine, right?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's meant to be a really dense.
Yeah, but that's dense enough.
Mitten.
It's by far dense enough.
It's still, that's a tight.
It's fine.
It is fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them to be tighter, actually.
No, but it still has pretty good stretch.
Yeah, no, I just meant like I wouldn't, Yeah.
So it's fun color work though.
Yeah.
You have to really pay attention to the chart. So
yeah. Yeah.
Two charts because there's different charts for the front and the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
So I'm using Malabrigo and Barocco Vintage for that. And it'll kind of match the hat. The hat was like purple and white last year. So it's close enough.
It'll be good.
But it's got llamas.
Right. Even more importantly, it's got llamas.
Yeah. And then I think there's going to be like another hat. We realize there's a couple of like teacher's aides and stuff that are in some of the classrooms. So I do hats, quick hats for those.
Yes.
Alicia Plummer just released a new hat that's, I think that's what I'm going to do. It's a sport weight hat, but it's still, let me see, go look what it's called. Abigail and I were looking last night and she was like, I like that one.
Yeah.
It's called Wood Notes.
I haven't seen that one. Oh, that is cute.
So it's a nice color work. You could use Spin Cycle or Edition 3, or I probably will use the Edition 3.
Or Feederbrook.
Or, I tend to use stuff that if it accidentally gets washed,
right, exactly,
won't felt. This is sort of the exception.
That teacher is knitworthy, understands the rules.
Yeah.
Plus their mittens.
And if they felt a little bit, they're fine.
Yeah.
But for a hat, so I could use Feederbrook, but it's sport weight. Needs sport weight. So
yeah, right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I did. Last time I showed you
just a little
tiny bit. an inch of my sweater, but I did put some work into the sweater, the bouldering sweater by Kirsten Hipsky. So I started to see the texture. And it's good because I didn't swatch. And actually, I'm using a slightly smaller, I know, right? Well, because it's a sweater that you can really easily adjust the size of it. So I was like, why would I swatch? I bought myself a row counter bracelet from Katrinkles, which I'm excited about. It's very handy. I usually just put a bunch of knots and a hank of yarn and keep track that way. But I have been using it because it's cable, so there's multiple repeat rows. So I'm at the point where the cable flares out on the back. Because you knit the back panel and go up and around. I talked about it last time. And it's a great, really interesting construction. And then you knit the sides out the other way. You pick up stitches and knit them sideways. So I got to that point and I had a frustrating moment where I realized that the moss stitch got off kilter from its count. And so I just have to sit down on a Saturday morning when it's not dark. It's funny to me, when it's really dark, at night, I can't think. I could have the brightest light in my living room on in the world, and it's I just can't. I'm usually tired by then, and I just need to I started to look at it at Knit Group, and there were 20 people here, and it was just too messy.
Too much. Yeah.
But anyway, so the good news is I do like the fabric. It's a little loose, but I like it, and I'm really pleased with the color. And
the color's nice.
The way it's starting to look. So I am a little concerned that maybe the moss stitch got off kilter a little bit because it's not doing exactly what I think it should be doing, but it's fine. I just need to
be consistent
match that and keep going. That's my plan.
Yep.
So we'll see. So I did work on that, but that will probably, I feel like every other podcast, I'm and that will now pause. And my list of simmering projects, if you happen to look at our show notes, which is 23 pages long, my part of it alone, will just keeps happening because I actually really need to focus on our Seasons of Vermont pattern, which has been conceptualized but has not been knit or drafted. But I do have the yarn, so we might do a little sneak peek on the yarn. So these are the two yarns that we're going to be using. So the white one is Sylvan Spirit from Green Mountain Spinnery, and the gray one, which you may or may not be able to see, there's quite a bit of color in there, is from Kingdom Fleece and Fiber. It's called Deep Winter. It's an exclusive colorway for us for this box. So
nice.
This is an Aran weight, and this is a DK weight, and I'm going to put them together.
That's going to be fun.
So that'll be fun. It's a winter-inspired theme, so
awesome.
It'll be good. Now I just have to, knit it.
Yes.
Conceptualize it, right?
Chop, chop.
Right, I know, right? Because, we need to release that box in early December.
I was going to say, when's that box coming out?
I would like to do it for the first weekend in December. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
That's probably it. I need to figure out all the other little bits as well. Joan Fitzhugh is making us a little notions bag.
Awesome.
Which is going to be awesome. And then I just need to think about the other accessory bits.
Nice.
Yes, I'm not, as usual, by the time it gets to this time every year, I'm not as well organized as I could be. Because October is hard for me every year.
Yeah.
I lose my momentum a little bit. But
yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we thought that we would bring over this kind of cool shawl to put on our mannequin lady back here. And this is...
It's design A94-01.
That's amazing.
Nice.
It's knit out of Huasco sock.
Yeah, it's a great yarn. Beautiful colors.
Super, super gorgeous. There's a lot of different shawl patterns that you could use this for. I mean, any of the Casapinko ones. But, sometimes with these type of yarns, it's hard to visualize, what will it look like when it's knit up. And so this is, a really nice
two color
shawl.
Yeah, so there's these Wasco sock, which is a hand-painted superwash wool. And then this is Wasco sock kettle dyes, which are like tonal solids. We have them in like all the rainbow colors and a few neutrals as well. And then we have these in probably
A bunch of
10 or
different
15
colors
different
too.
colors.
Yeah.
I think we showed it before, but I just was struck by the colors in that, and I thought it's really pretty. So
Yeah, if you're looking for something a little different that's not a garment.
or if you want to give someone a gift, you know, you could buy a pattern and then one of each, and they could either use them for that or not. We're definitely getting into the gift planning season. We had people in yesterday buying stuff for people, and that's often what we recommend. If they don't know, they're like, I know my friend is a knitter and she loves these colors, and we're like, here's a couple skeins, here's a pattern that could be used with it, and off you go. I did that yesterday with a sweater for someone, so it was fun. Yeah. So anyway, so I thought we could show it today because it's just good to have a little inspiration.
Yeah.
And then the other inspiration that we have for you.
Oh my gosh, one of our employees, Kristen.
Yeah.
Kristen.
Krista.
Oh my gosh, wrong across the board.
It's a long day, Monday.
It's been a long day.
Yes.
Krista.
Right.
Sorry, Krista, if you're watching. So embarrassed.
This is the Bonnie Isle hat by Linda Shearer.
And I believe this is the Shetland Wool Week hat.
Yeah, the pattern for this year.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Look at all the little details in there. All the anchors and the different wave patterns, and it's really nice. And it was done with, I think there's 4 colors? 4 colors.
4 colors, I think.
At least. There's 2 blues, a gray, and a green. Yeah, so, and that dark
white.
gray. Oh, yeah.
Dark gray, light gray, green, 2 blues. 5
colors.
5 colors.
Just a reminder that we have this, which is what she used. So this is Shetland Light from Queensland Collection, organic Shetland wool. We have it in all these colors and maybe 1 or 2 more. I don't quite know.
Tons of colors.
Yeah. And they're, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, I think, maybe when it first came in. We probably only had a couple at that time. So they're 50 grams, 315 yards, so it's fingering weight.
The light fingering.
Yeah. And it's, as we said, 100% organic Shetland wool. Beautiful heathery colors.
Really pretty.
Yeah. This hat was just
gorgeous.
Needed to be shared.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Such a fun color work hat, and obviously, you know, knittery thing is to look at the inside and see the amazing job she did with her floats. Like, it's just beautiful. Like, you could almost wear that all by itself. It's so cool.
Yeah, you could wear it that way. It's amazing.
Yeah. Nice job, Krista. We've been oohing and ahhing over it in the store.
Yeah.
As have all of our customers, so.
Yep.
That's a great gift for someone, too.
Yeah, a kit for that. Big yarn for that, 5 colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So what else you got over there?
Oh, so this is a funny thing. So I, when Clara Park started doing her foundation flock thingy that she does, I signed up for it, and so she did. It's like, I haven't actually listened to any of the talks or the podcast, but I read the email that comes every week or so, and she's always, as you know, promoting the wool of the world. And so I don't like to use like Swiffer products because they just feel incredibly wasteful to me. And so my housekeeper that I had for a little while, our cleaning lady, really liked to use them. And since she has gone off to do other things, and I am cleaning my house myself, I use quotes because it's not happening as frequently as it used to, that is for sure. Anyway, so I've been wondering or thinking about it for a while, and so she talked about this in her thing. And this is Big Woolly. It is a dust mop made out of wool. And this is the replacement head for the dust mop. So I can actually do this because I have it at home. So, you know, it fits on a handle like anything else. It's just a big dust mop, and it will fluff out because it's from a cone, so it's been tightly wound for a while. So I got a handheld little duster. So the other thing that I really love about this is that they're made here in Vermont. And so, yeah, they are available, and they're not inexpensive, but when you think about how much you spend on like Swiffer things and those plasticky whatever thingies that are just going to go in the landfill and never dissolve, they've been making these for 113 years here in Vermont.
Wow.
Which is kind of cool. So their website is slaydust.com.
That's amazing.
But without a Y. So it's SLADUST.com. Anyway, so I'm giving them a little plug. They certainly, whatever. But if you're interested in something that's a little bit more sustainable, it will last forever. Like it's never gonna, nothing won't, you can hand wash it if you need to. You just shake it outdoors like you would any dust mop. Like I have a cotton mop that is a dust mop, but it's not the same. Like it doesn't, I of course took it right out of the box the first night and was like waving it around my house at all the cobwebs. And I was just like, oh, this is the dust mop I've been waiting for a really long time. So anyway, just a weird little thing, but it's a woolly thing. So I felt like I had to share it.
Absolutely.
Plus, who can resist something called Big Woolly?
Right?
It's just hilarious.
It's amazing.
Yes. And I don't know that they sell much else on their website. Really, this is their product. There's choice of wooden handle, or I got a retractable one because I have some like a angled ceiling that is hard to reach without a telescoping pole. But they work very hard to make sustainable products. So.
I feel like I need that for some corners of my house that are cobwebby and in my stairwell. And,
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm using
all those
it for.
Places that
I have hardwood floors and a cat, and it's just like under the couch and all those things. I have another one that I've had for a long time that is made out of like roving, with a wooden pole, and it. I do use that quite a bit, but it is too fat to fit under like some things, whereas this is really flat, so you can just like lie it down flat and it will go under the couch. And the other one, it's sort of felted over the years. It's like a bag of roving on a stick, basically. I don't know where I got it, but
awesome.
Anyway, that's my public safety announcement for the day. Use wool to clean your house.
Perfect.
Yes. I'm also very excited about the idea of wool pajamas, which she's been writing about quite a bit. So I know. Nice. Temperature regulating pajamas.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yes. Well,
that would be nice.
People sleep better. There's all kinds of studies. So I think those are going on my Christmas list. Anyway.
Well, maybe you'll have to put some links in show notes so people can.
I will put them
on this stuff.
Yeah.
If they're interested.
Yeah. Yeah, Big Woolly for sure.
Yeah, because that's fun.
I know, right? Exactly. When I opened it up, I couldn't imagine what color it was. I was very curious.
Yeah.
I was like, is it just like random bits of leftover yarn or whatever?
Apparently it is.
It looks pretty intentional to me. Like it's, kind of, Big Woolly and Woolly Mammoth. Oh, they're so funny. I like Vermont humor. It's very dry sometimes.
Yes.
That's why I live here, really, truly. It's not because it's just beautiful and everything else. It's because the humor is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I have on this side of the table.
That's what I got.
Yeah. So
Mittens.
We talked a little bit about, so let's see. This is random because we don't have our little list in front of us. But
we got a couple of knit alongs going, or craft alongs, crochet alongs, the cables and lace along, and there's also the sparkle along. In addition, our warmth with yarn call that we run every year. So
in the Seasons of Vermont along.
Seasons of Vermont along as well.
New box coming soon. And we have very few of the other one left, but we have a couple of the fall one left. I think we still have a few of each of the other ones this year as well.
Yeah.
Not sorry. There's like
not a huge amount. Just, one or two there. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that people will buy a lot of times this time of year because it's a full kit.
Yeah.
It's, everything's there. There's
a
little
couple
goodies.
this weekend, actually, which was
I bet.
So it was exciting for me when someone comes in and buys one and they're like, oh, or whatever. It just gives me a chance to talk about the pattern so it's nice. So we have that. Our knit groups are like out of control lately, honestly.
Huge.
We have 15 or 20 people here on Wednesdays, and a little bit smaller group on Sundays, but still pretty solid. And a lot of new people, which is awesome. So we're excited about that, and a lot of our regulars as well. So, and we have, all ages of people that come. We have a whole contingent of UVM, either students or recent students. So we have trended significantly younger a little bit lately, but it's great. It's been great to have all these different people with all their interesting projects. So I've been coming on Wednesdays lately because I'm here in town now again. So
yeah,
it's nice in the wintertime. We have some classes.
Yep. We do have some classes. And
just for a couple more weeks, right? And
then we
pause.
wrap those up. We pause them in December because folks don't really usually
before Thanksgiving is the last one, I think, right? Because then we have the Saturday things.
Yep, and then we'll start them back up in January. There was some discussion at my sock class, the heels and toes sock class, that we should do a afterthought heel and do some tubes and do the picking up stitches and cutting right in the class so people can do it. I thought that was a great idea, and people could bring their own tubes, or we could figure out how to get them.
I'm not a cutter. I like to knit some weight in my 3.5 pairs of socks that I've made recently, which is really in the last 15 years of knitting. I'd like to put the waist yarn in, and then I'll just pick that out, and that way I don't have to cut anything.
Yeah, but because that's again one of those skill classes that a lot of folks they'd want to come do it hands-on. So we might be adding that one in. I don't know when it would fall, because I probably would be the lucky winner of teaching it, maybe, unless Ariana or Krista wanted to teach it. So I think
there'd have to be some homework where people would have to.
No, we'll do tubes
as part of the cost of the class.
Yep. Or if people, I've lost my magic wave.
If only I had a stick on my magic. Come on. Oops.
Or is that's the signal that it's time to go? We can't get the light to turn back on.
Oh golly.
No, we do the tube as a part of the cost of the class.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Get Kelly to crank.
Yeah, or Krista. Krista's got a.
Oh, does she? No, I didn't know that. Awesome. Yeah,
that's how it came up on Saturday when I was teaching my class a couple weeks ago. So
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Ariana's putting the list together of classes for the spring. So if you're interested, if you're local and you're interested, or if you want to come to town and have a class, if you're interested, drop us a note in comments, and we will do our best. And Ariana's also teaching a little bit at Shelburne Craft School, which is fun. So I think she has 2 classes in the spring that she's teaching there, which is great.
And we're working diligently to try to pull the retreat together again for most likely next summer, summer 2023. Challenge is finding a location, and I think we've made some decisions about changing the format of the retreat a bit, which makes it a little bit easier perhaps to secure a location. So also probably means the price point of the retreat might have to change a little bit,
or just how we offer it.
So keep an eye out for that. That's going to become a main focus of mine once I get through this next couple of weeks here and have some time to be planning and looking at other things. So for this part of my work, as opposed to my other work, which is taking the driver's seat right now.
And then we talked about this a little bit in outtakes, so we won't belabor it here, but we definitely have our little pop-up shops starting the Friday after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and then that Saturday as well, and then the following Saturdays through the 17th, I think. So that'll be good. We need to, we probably, in that newsletter. I'm going to talk about it, and we do need to start putting it up on social media, so we can probably do that this week just to remind people. We should, because it's a couple weeks now.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So come say hi if you're in town for Thanksgiving. Come pop in. Jen and I will be around the store Friday and Saturday at various times. And Jen will be here Sunday. So
yes,
come say hello. Come see us.
Yeah.
Come check out what we've got in the store.
Because there's a lot.
There's a lot.
It is a very, very full place at the moment. So
Lots of fun yarn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Lots of fun stuff. It's hard to believe the holidays are just about on us. It's crazy. All right. Can't think about that right now.
Okay.
Things to do first.
So thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. We hope you enjoyed yourself.
Right. A little bit disjointed.
Hopefully we, inspired you or showed you something that sparked your interest or kind of got the creative juices flowing a little bit. So that's what happens to me every time I come in here.
Yeah, lately I've been so overwhelmed by the number of project bags that are in my living room. It's just been I have to finish some of these things. I didn't even talk about it and I didn't bring it, but I did when my brain was completely broken last week. I did put another inch or two maybe on my sea glass tee because it's just mindless knitting at this point, and that's what I needed when I got mad at this sweater, this pink sweater. So, but no mindless knitting, mindless assembly. I have mindless assembly, and then I have focused creative knitting coming up. So we'll see how that goes. The assembly must get done. Probably by the next time, so we'll podcast again on the 21st, right? Which
Week
is a
of
Monday.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yep. So I will have it to show then because I will have to hand it in. Right.
Yes.
Which reminds me, one last public service announcement. Tomorrow is the day to vote in the United States of America.
But by the time this airs,
everywhere. I know.
Voting will be passed.
Yes, I will
do
a little post tomorrow morning. But
hopefully you voted.
Yes. I hope you did get out and vote.
Yeah.
It's important.
It's very important.
Regardless of what you feel about anything.
It's
the only way to make your voice heard.
Yep. By voting.
We all of us have strong feelings about lots of different things. So I think everybody should always vote.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Particularly this year.
Every year. Every election.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You should vote. It's our civic duty as Americans.
There's a lot happening in Vermont this year. There's a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Big change in our leadership in Congress. So with our Mr. Leahy retiring after 150 years. No, I'm just kidding. 48.
48? Has it been that long?
Yeah. Okay. He's the second longest serving senator when he retires at the end of the year.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal.
And our friend Bernie is probably not too far behind him. But I am not projecting anything or predicting anything here.
Nope.
I think he's got another couple of years. I was going to say on this sentence, but that's probably not the way one should phrase that. All right. Time to wrap this up.
Happy knitting. Happy crafting.
That's right.
We'll see you all soon.
That's right.
Bye.
Ugh.
Recorder's on. I'm gonna move this chair out of the way because it makes me crazy to have weird stuff in the backdrop.
Well, I moved them over here because I was tired of looking them when you look down.
Oh yeah,
it's like a chair graveyard over there.
Yeah.
So I'm tired of looking at it, so I moved them.
Yep. Which is fine.
All right. People can watch me very slowly.
Oh no.
Throw myself into my chair.
I'm gonna leave my
hide behind this
sweatshirt on here. Because it's gotten colder out since this morning even, I think.
Dramatically colder.
Yeah.
It's 56 degrees out.
5 yesterday.
And Saturday.
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I actually stopped by Kelly's on Saturday to buy some eggs because my sister's chickens have apparently decided they don't need to produce enough eggs for the sisters of the family, unfortunately. So my supply is dried up. So, but it was awesome. And so I also brought over my pumpkins because I just spent the entire week.
Is that crooked? Is it leaning? Sorry,
Yeah, I'm
didn't
leaning.
mean to interrupt.
No. I don't know. It looks straight to me.
Okay.
I'm the architect. It looks level.
Okay.
Maybe we could just lean.
Maybe because I'm just...
Right, we're both going to lean right out of the screen.
Yes.
After spending all week watching, I don't know why, but apparently I like to look at animals on Facebook, and so I get all the zoo feeds.
Yep.
And they were all feeding their animals pumpkins all week, which I thought, because of Halloween.
Yep.
Which I enjoyed immensely, looking at all the different animals.
So did you take pumpkins to Kelly?
I took my pumpkins, which have not rotted, because they were pretty sturdy, over to Kelly, and we threw them in the sheep pen. And the sheep were very excited, but they could not. So mostly they just rolled it around and sniffed it. And one of the little rams with his little horns was giving it a nudge, but it didn't break. So I didn't get to see them actually chew on them. But one of them had like those nubbly things on the side of it, like it was a warty pumpkin. And the sheep he was trying to chew, but they weren't quite big enough to take a bite of. Anyway, it was entertaining.
That's awesome.
But I'm entertained easily by animals. So
that's fun.
Yes.
Super fun.
So it was nice to catch up with her for a little bit and hear about their land and all the exciting stuff they have going on.
Yep.
So, and to see the little sheepers.
And I mean, she'll be back if you want to come see her. She's going to be here on the 26th of November.
Whatever that Saturday is.
It's a Saturday.
Which reminds me.
Small Business Saturday. Hang on.
Happy
26th.
anniversary. Oh my God. Today's our actual story anniversary. So fancy.
So fancy. Look at us. Yes, actual 7 years ago. Today we opened
the doors amidst the chaos of that other place.
So it's November 7th.
Yeah. It's my parents' anniversary. That's why I remember. Because we opened the store and then at the end of the day I went out to dinner with them.
Nice.
It was very, so anyway.
Yes. So
congrats to us.
So we usually do a bigger celebration on Small Business Saturday.
Right, because it's close enough.
Yep. And it's also a big shopping day, and it's another, great way to just have a little celebration, kind of tie it in with stuff. So Kelly's going to be our vendor for our pop-up marketplaces on that Saturday.
Which is awesome.
So that's super cool.
Yeah.
Joan Fitzhugh, who makes a lot of our bags, is going to be here on the Friday, on the 25th. And then for the next few Saturdays, we have, Tammy from Wing and a Prayer Farm is going to be here. Fiber Stash is going to be here. Bobolink Farms is going to be here.
All the good ones.
Yankee Rock Farm is going to be here. That's a new one that some of you haven't
some really
seen before or haven't met the farmers. And I expect we may pick up a couple other vendors, which happens sometimes. We start advertising and people are like, oh, right. Can I sign up?
If we write a newsletter or maybe post it on social media.
So, those will be Saturdays.
Delinquent lately.
Yeah. Saturdays through the holiday season. So that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. It will be. We can do a little photo with Kelly. I might only be here a short time since I'll be working on Friday all day, apparently.
You're working the Friday after Thanksgiving?
Yes, apparently so. We're short a person or two.
Okay.
So, but I'll pop in.
Let me know if you need some help on Friday.
Ariana will be here. She just wanted one other person with her. So we'll just sort of see how it goes that day.
Well, or if you want to split the day or something, just let me know.
Yeah. Well, it'll be, it's hard to predict. That Friday is either really good or just meh.
Yeah.
It's a very unpredictable thing. Yeah. A lot of people wait till Saturday because that is Small Business Saturday. And so, but the visitors from out of town who are here for the holidays often come in. So it's very unpredictable, basically.
And that Saturday, I'll be here for part of the day, but I have to leave early because Abigail and I are going to go watch the Nutcracker at the Flynn.
Yeah.
And it's a 3:00 performance. So
there you go. Yeah.
I think we're going to get dressed up and go be fancy.
Yeah.
Going with some friends of ours.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I like the Nutcracker.
I do too. And my child who would be interested in it is now old enough.
Yeah.
She's ready to go. She wants to go right now. Like, you have to wait. It's in a few weeks.
Till after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As it should be.
Yeah.
It should be after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, and then it will just be like a roller coaster right to Christmas.
Yeah.
I have birthdays to get through first. My mom, my brother-in-law, a friend of mine, like, are all like one day apart, like, well, 2 days, so one day in between, right up to Thanksgiving.
Mine are all stacked December and January. So 2 nieces in December. My mom's is beginning of January. My husband's the middle of January. My sister-in-law's middle of January. My brother's in February. It's like...
Yeah, it's funny when they're all glued into one chunk, but the rest of us are spread out throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was a little bit of a rush right before Thanksgiving, so.
Yeah.
Yes. It'll be good, though.
I know. I'm trying to get teacher gifts, like, squared away, and because I get that out of the way, then I can work on some other things.
Yeah. It just occurred to me that I should open up Ravelry because I have no paperwork to support.
Oh, I know. I was just telling Jen, like,
we're
a
hot mess today, people.
Totally
just FYI.
Hot mess.
which you will know by the time you get to this part, right?
Yes.
Because this is the end. Not the
yes,
beginning.
this is the end. This is where we try to get it all out, so we can have a productive, informative podcast. Perhaps.
Yes.
So.
It's been a crazy couple of weeks. Halloween was in there.
Like, I
some fun
taught
with
a class, a sock class at the store. I had in the middle of Halloween stuff.
Right. Oh, right.
Yeah.
I forgot it was that same weekend. Now you know not to sign up for that next year.
Yeah, why did I do that to myself?
I don't know.
Probably
because I was
knew...
like, I can do nothing until after the 1st of November.
Yeah, and probably because I also knew the first couple weeks in November were going to be pretty crazy. I'm feeling pretty
relaxed,
miraculous that I'm here today, because the rest of this week is awful. Anyway.
I'm excited because I haven't had to travel, and I don't have to travel this week. I don't have to travel, at least conceptually, until December 1st. I don't know, whatever that weekend is after Thanksgiving. I'll be gone like Thursday through Sunday. But anyway, I think that has made the difference.
Yeah.
Was it last week? Maybe the week before. After all those weeks of whatever craziness, I had one last trip to New York where we flew down, went to a client event in the evening, and then caught the last flight home. And so it was fine. It worked out perfectly. But it was just one of those days where you're just like, it's just very logistically dependent. And New York City is known to upset logistics. But it was a beautiful day. It was fine. It was all good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got upgraded to first class on the way home, so it was
I think
very good.
this time next week, I'm going to be having a little party because like most of my rough stuff will be done.
Yeah.
And by rough stuff, I mean I've got a lot of litigation stuff happening right now. So
work is hard.
Work is it is what it is.
Yes.
Can't get into too much more than that, but
yes, it ebbs and flows, and it's flowing, right? I guess, not ebbing. Yes. I don't know if I can handle that kind of metaphor tonight.
No, I certainly cannot.
My mastery of the English language is suspect today.
I'm going to feel pretty impressed with myself if I'm able to get this posted and loaded to go on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
Can you put it up and then just let it release?
Yeah, but I have to edit it, and so.
Oh, no.
And that because I have to break it apart and put it into the segments and like do all of that stuff. And that it does take some time, put all the headers on and for the pick of the week and like our information.
She's awfully good to you people. If I was running this podcast, you could imagine what it would be. It would not be that.
I normally don't do we podcast on Mondays. Tuesday, I'm taking the day off. Like Wednesday is my day to like load the podcast, and then it just in case anything else goes awry, I have like another day in there before it goes live on Friday. So I think I'm not going to want to edit it when I get home tonight because it's too fresh, but I'm not going to be able to take my night off tomorrow night because Wednesday
is when the fun begins.
And Thursday I will be not able to do too much probably by the time I get home.
Yeah.
Because of work.
Yeah.
Long days at work. So, like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
And I may or may not write a newsletter this week, as I've been promising to do for the last 4 weeks. So you can tell that it's a self-imposed deadline because I keep moving it.
Amazing.
Right. So maybe this week. I have all the stuff. Oh, golly. Yeah, for me, the last couple of weeks have been kind of crazy. So
yeah.
And of course, you know, here it is, 5 something, and it's pitch black out. My clock is wrong. Now that I look at it.
Yeah.
So the joy of November in Vermont is...
It is now dark.
It is now dark.
And
tonight there's some sort of eclipse or something.
20 after... Well, it's tomorrow morning. It's like 5 tomorrow morning.
Can't wait to go for my walk tomorrow morning as the moon is eclipsing, which is the only thing providing any potential of daylight.
It's a full moon. And
I shouldn't say
that. Be an
eclipse. This morning it was actually daylight, kind of, when I went. I didn't have to wear my headlamp. So I've got a solid week of maybe it not being dark, and then, you know, that goes away very quickly.
I mean, I think it said like 5:26. I think I'm normally awake by
4 something. It starts at 4.
Oh.
And then...
But you could still catch it at like
You
5.
can see it, yeah. At 5:16, it's be fully eclipsed.
Okay.
And I just heard this in the car literally 25 seconds ago as I came in the door. And then by 7:30, it will be...
Well, by 7:30, it's going to be light out, and you're not going to be able to see.
Right, yes. But it will be right there on the western horizon, so...
Well, I
may
might
witness
have
some
to
of this when
take
I walk.
a look at it. Mm-hmm. I'm up in that, around that time zone.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah. And that whole thing where you get an extra hour of sleep is just nonsense.
It's garbage.
I would use a different word, but this is a family program.
Garbage. Because I have 2 cats and a dog, and they don't daylight savings. My kids, maybe a little bit, because I can let them stay up a little later, and they'll sleep maybe a little bit later. But those animals, man, they don't care.
I did sleep late on whatever morning, Sunday. And I was, I have a Fitbit thing, and it doesn't, it syncs to my phone, but not like automatically. Always. So sometimes I have to prompt it. And so I woke up and I glanced at it, and I was like, oh, it says 7, so it's really 6. So I can go back to sleep because I had not set my things forward.
But had it reset?
It had reset.
It was really 7.
So like an hour later, I was like, oh, maybe I should just look at my phone and see. And it was like, so
wow,
it's almost 8. Apparently I'm going to sleep late, get an extra hour. You wouldn't know it to look at me. I look exhausted, but because I did a little too much yard work, and so the pain of moving is reflected here the last 2 days. Yes. Saturday was a really pleasant day outdoors.
It was.
So I just kept clipping and pruning and doing stuff, and finally I was like, okay, probably I need to go inside now.
It was so nice on Saturday and Sunday. I stayed inside almost all day and was sewing in the dungeon.
The weekend before I did that, which was ridiculous because we also had a beautiful weekend. That was my first weekend home in a month, and I was like, I just need to be in my house today.
We live in the woods, and we've had a giant tick outbreak because of all the warm weather, and I don't do ticks. They're disgusting. So when I hear picking up ticks walking across the grass, I'm like, I don't need to go outside.
Not necessary.
Not necessary. I got stuff to do inside.
Normally in November it would be cold and you wouldn't be outdoors, so therefore.
Yeah. My house needed to be cleaned, and I had stuff to do.
My house still needs to be cleaned. That was on the list for this past weekend, but
it's gross. It's not gross anymore because I took care of it. But
no, mine is definitely.
I did a bunch of sewing this weekend. Some things working on for the holiday bazaar and some stuff I was making for a friend of mine. So
that's good. Yeah. I did the yard work. I did some knitting. I started assembling my little blanket here.
I should have brought the sewing stuff as finished outtakes.
That's right. Yeah.
Did a whole bunch of it.
I finished some things. One thing.
Guys, I'm convinced. I've convinced myself that I can sew knit fabric. Not hand knit fabric, but like knits.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, I
hope
believe
you enjoy that.
that I can sew those things without having a serger.
I'll be curious.
How do we think this is going to go?
Well, I have faith in you, but
yeah,
I'm not sure. I've done it before, actually, and it's mainly just so frustrating that I gave up.
Right. That's what I expect is going to happen.
Yeah.
But
it depends on how stretchy it is. I mean, some fabric
still convinced myself that I can do it. Because I believe I need to make beanies out of knit fabric.
Oh.
Why? I don't know. Why not? I need to stay off Pinterest. That's what needs to happen.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not addicted to Pinterest. It's kind of a good thing. I have several friends who are.
Yeah.
And they're always like, you should try this. Because you're crafty. You should do this. And I was like, I'm not even going to open that because I don't want to be sucked in.
90% of my rabbit holes with my believing I can do any craft of any kind.
Well, you probably can.
Is Pinterest's fault.
Yeah. Yes, I have a friend who is a DIY person, and she is always doing something with generally good results, but occasionally something that is an epic fail. But
a lot of mine can be epic fails.
Yeah.
Beading,
yeah, well, yeah.
Sewing with knits. Stand by for that. Can't wait to put some pictures on Instagram about how that turns out.
It'll be a picture of Angela with a cartoon bubble with all the punctuation on the keyboard coming out of her mouth. And for those of you that don't understand what that means,
there will
I'm
be
sorry,
swears.
you're not old enough for this program.
There will be swears.
I'm just imagining that there's a bunch of 20-somethings who were like, what? What is she
Well,
talking about?
I will say I have I bought some like what I would classify as nicer knit fabric, but then I also bought some fabric off of the remnant cart at Joann's, so it was like $2.
Yeah.
So that's the stuff I'm going to start with, because if it doesn't work, then I don't feel bad.
If it's kind of sturdy knit, it will probably be fine. If it's very stretchy,
cotton, like the cotton lycra knit stuff, it's a little bit heavier.
Yeah,
I feel like that
it's got
stuff
some
maybe would be okay.
It needs some body. Probably.
I don't know. Really, the conclusion that I'm coming
also, if
to,
you're making little small things like beanies, is that what you said?
Yeah,
so
beanies.
They're small.
No, for your head. Beanies.
Oh, for your head.
For your head.
Oh, yeah.
Hat.
I'm with you now. I was thinking myself, what is she talking about?
What is she making?
I'm telling you, it is Monday for sure. Yes.
Well, the conclusion that I will come to is that
you can knit those.
I know, but they take a lot longer, right?
Do they?
Yeah, I mean, the conclusion that will be drawn, because this is where my brain goes, is like, well, I just need a serger. That's the problem here.
Rather than, I just need bigger yarn and bigger needles so I can knit a beanie in an afternoon.
Or maybe this project isn't for you. It's, I don't have the right equipment.
Which is also a very valid, that's a valid conclusion, I think. Also, yes, it's true. Yes.
So anyone want to hazard a guess as to whether a serger might be on my Christmas list at this point?
I think the question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to sew knits?
I might. Yeah. If I could do it. I mean, I wear them.
Yeah, I know. True.
Regularly. Yeah. So if I could figure out how to do it where I wasn't fighting with the machine, and probably the serger is it. You guys can tell me in the comments if you like, you need a serger, lady. So
that's what they say.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's like having the right tools, right? Like we always say, like you find what works for you. Like I'm picking up a pair of these because I need them for a pair of mittens I'm working on.
Which are flexi flip needles, which you maybe has already talked about.
Which I love them so much. I love them more than double points now. And if you've been watching the podcast for a while, those are big words for me. Because I was a tried and true, dyed in the wool double point gal.
Yeah.
And now,
not so much.
So
I only use them for certain things because they're too short generally. They aggravate me when the stitches fall off of them.
Well, that's what happened with this little mitten thing. To the ends popped out. And I was like,
you're doing color work too.
And color work. And if I could get it set up so the chart matches the two chart. Anyway, so I need the flexi flips. That's all there is to it.
Or magic loop.
I don't like the cord. I hate the cord.
Yeah.
Cord makes me more angry. So if flexi
we don't want
flips
that. We don't want angry ants.
I know, right?
Right. That's why tools exist.
Exactly.
So
and that's why I need a serger. See, it all comes back to why I need a
That
serger.
was a very circular conversation. Oh boy, here we go.
There we go. I
might
got
be
it.
able to use my big
I
boy
got it
over
to come
here.
back on with my arms.
Yes.
All right. Should
All right. We should, because I'm tired. You're tired.
Yeah, I'd like to get home before really late.
Yes. Because it feels really late now.
I know. It's like 5:30.
It is
so dark.
pitch black out there. Right.
Well,
Last
we
night
won't
I
have to
admit,
worry about the sun.
Yeah.
We have no more issues with the sun.
That's right. We are done with the sun until
months.
March or April, maybe.
Yeah.
I know. I got home from the store at the last person. We had a very busy afternoon yesterday at the store. And so we had people right up until 4, a little bit after.
Yeah.
And I was like, out you go. But by the time I got home, it was like 4:30, and I don't know. I walked in the house and I did like 2 things, and I looked outdoors and I was oh my god!
I will say
so
it was
dark.
very nice going to the bus stop this morning and having it be daylight.
Yeah,
because for the last couple of weeks it's been kind of dark.
Don't enjoy it too much because
the bus stop.
It's short.
I know.
And then it's terrible because it's both ends.
Yeah, it'll be both ends for a little bit, and then it'll get better.
It's better in January, but not in the morning. Not until March in the morning. But speaking of which, I started planning my Hawaii trip last night, so that was kind of exciting. And my sister has given me carte blanche to plan the whole thing. She's like, I'm just along for the ride.
That's amazing.
All right.
Have fun.
You may regret that.
And we're going to New York in February.
One of our customers who comes to Nick Group is going to. So
awesome.
we'll
Jen and I will be at Book Vending Live, attending, not vending or anything, but we'll be there.
Just for fun.
Taking some classes.
That's right. Yes, I don't remember which ones, but probably we'll talk about it before we go.
I think I'm taking a knit 2 socks 2 at a time.
I think one of them is about
Magic
embroidery.
Loop.
Oh, really?
With Mina.
Like why?
Mina Phillips. Yeah. I've always wanted to do 2 at a time socks, and I feel like that's a technique that really would benefit from taking a class.
Yeah. Despite what you just said about Magic Loop.
I mean, that seems like an appropriate place to use Magic Loop.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
And it could be one of those things like doing not stranded color work, but what's the other one?
Mosaic.
Not mosaic. No, where
In
Tarja. I took a class and I was like, nope, not for me.
Yeah, well, that is definitely an understandable thing. I've done it a fair amount here and there, but I don't always love it.
And sometimes I think you take the class to see is this something, if I learn it, can I do it? And it may be still.
The joy of exceedingly warm weather is that there's
bugs.
An odd influx of. I have fake ladybugs all over my house at home.
I'm trying to remember what else I'm taking.
I only remember. I think I'm taking like embroidery or knit or something like that. I don't know what else. I'm taking 4 classes. I think maybe
I'm taking roughly 4 classes.
Yeah.
Too.
So
it'll be fun. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Because we're going down on like Thursday and coming back on Sunday. So I get a mini break.
I do too, and then I go to Hawaii a week and a half later. So that's kind of February's going to be kind of a lost month, but that's all right.
Yeah,
I haven't had a real vacation in quite a while.
Yeah, because my vacation got canceled this year.
Yes, that's true. I can't really say that out loud compared to you. But
anyway,
yes,
that's the way it goes.
Indeed. All right.
So let's get this podcast show on the road. 25 minutes in. Woo! Okay.
You're welcome. Oh no.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm very sure.
Okay.